how do firefighters, handle stress? Crickets and 300 people in the room. He goes, we drink. And you chuckle. He
Yeah.
goes, seriously. He goes, what do we do? He goes, whatever our culture is. He goes, what do we do at a funeral? Drink. Thousands of people drink. He goes, that's what we do. It's what we've always done. Is it right? He goes, that's not the question. He goes, is it the proper, is that healthy? No, but more and more that is definitely, I'd say not even more and more. It's widely known that that's not the right way to handle stuff, you know. But yeah, I know we're bouncing around here, but
That's what it's meant for. I think it's to get that dynamic conversation. I'll turn to Jay for maybe another kind of like response because, Caitlin, I mean, we're both treaters. We're civilians in many ways. We do have a privileged situation, but nonetheless, we're civilians. I want to turn to Jay because sometimes what I find is that, there's like an understanding between fire and police and having those conversations. But do they really talk about their difficulties from one to another? Because there seems to be sometimes a divide there, and that's just my experience.
So I can say at my old job in Milford, smaller job, us in the fire department, I like phenomenal relationship. Obviously, I would think that a little bit more than everyone else because I was working hand in hand on those red blue teams, doing the fire investigation. When I came to my current job, I think we're big hockey. Our police department and fire department, huge hockey games, huge everything. I think the hockey guys get along real well. A lot of guys grew up together. A lot of guys did that. As for on scene, like any place, I'm sure that maybe some of the firefighters don't like some of our cops, and some of the cops don't like some of our firefighters. I don't know if there's anything behind it. I know when I go to scene, sometime and it's hard for me to distinguish sometimes, especially at 3 a.m, who the lieutenant is, who the captain is. The next thing I'm talking to one guy thinking that person's in charge. It's the person over there. And I feel like an idiot. But I think we go to scenes and I think we've got it. I don't know. I feel that we get along well in our city with the fire department. I think we work well together. Yes, are there little things, and there actually some of the things that annoy the firefighters annoy me too. Like if there's a fire, don't put a blue and white car in front of the fire hydrant or in front of the scene, because when the big red thing drives through it, I'm gonna go. They've got hoses and they've got axes and they're going to fight said fire. Why are we parked in front of it? Why don't we sit in our cars, block the streets where we think we should, because they're going to have a ladder. They're going to have this. So I think that's some of the things that younger cops need to know, because I think that sometimes builds animosity. Why are the cops sitting here? We've got a fire. Or why are the cops doing this? And I think that's part of what starts that animosity. Yes, are there sometimes we have a motor vehicle accident and there's airbag deployment, and we call when there's airbag deployment. It's just the way it is. Could we get some people sometime that'll look at the officer, especially if they're younger, and go, what the hell did you call us for? There's no injuries. And I'll hear it. I'm like, hey, the kid's supposed to call, if you're mad, get mad at me. I'm the boss on scene. All right. But I think I've had great relationships with the fire department in my previous job. And now it's just those little quirks. Don't park in front of a fire when the big red thing's coming, or just get out of their way. There's some people that, if you've got a rapport and you're in a motor vehicle accident, you're trying to stabilize the neck before the fire department gets there. Hey, great. They may appreciate that, but don't take offense when they say, hey, get out of the way. And they're not trying to be rude, but all of a sudden, oh, I'm the cop. Fine, be that way. But if the firefighters get out of the way, their level of care is 9 times out of 10 higher than our medical level of care. If they tell you to grab something. We're all there doing the same thing. They tell you, hey, go grab the backboard over there. As a sergeant, I've ran and grabbed the backboard. All right. Hey, Jake, you see the firefighters jumping in the ambulance, driving. Well, they're working on someone in the back. All right. Grab their bags. Ask them, hey, where do I put this? Because they're going to leave the bags behind. All right. That builds, I think, rapport between so we're not just going, oh, I'm going back to my station, I'm going back to my parking lot. Help them carry the bag for them. All right, we can all help each other. We're doing the same. We're doing a different job, but the same job. We're helping people.
Exactly.
No, I would suggest people go to fire police game in your in your city and see where animosity truly exists. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's it's a great game. I'll tell you. Getting a little too old for it though. There's a lot of young guys now.
I enjoy it, but I
hear ya.
remember a lot of stuff there.